Hello my friends, my name is Lindsay and I run the blog Books for Christian Girls, and welcome back, the little corner of the internet where I talk mainly about Christian fiction. Today it is my 200th video. This has been such a long awaited video, and that is a bookshelf tour. I have been on BookTube about 7 years and I've never done one of these because they've always been so intimidating, but for the 200th video on my channel I thought I might as well go ahead and do it. So that's what this video is. I hope you enjoy it. I do have just like a couple little notes first and then we'll get into it. So first things first, we're going to start with my rainbow shelves behind me. We'll start with maybe here and then we'll go into the rainbow and then I'll show you all the other books up here. I'm not going to pull out every single book on my shelves because some of these are really tight in here and that would just be too much work. I'm so sorry. Y'all would be here forever and I know you might like that, but maybe I'll do at one point I'll do it differently where like we'll highlight all of like the historical fiction books on my shelf or all of one genre or something maybe. I think that's maybe one day we'll do that, but for now I'll show y'all some of the covers and then other ones I'm just going to tell y'all the title and the author, and we're just gonna keep on going because this is going to be a really long video. It's going to be a long video, so I hope you enjoy it. I won't be sharing with y'all my physical TBR in this video. You'll see an overview of it when you see my bed bookshelves. Because if you're not familiar with my layout of my room, these are my main bookshelves, and then this little corner you see here, that's my bed, and it's actually on bookshelves as well. My room is basically a library. So my headboard is a bookshelves, and then my bed is on bookshelves. So a lot of those are my physical TBR books, and I'm not going to show those to y'all because I haven't read them yet. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy them, so we're just not going to do those. At one point, I will make a video sharing with y'all all the books on my physical TBR. I've done that once, and it wasn't that bad, but now there's a ton of books on my physical TBR. And in all honesty, a lot of them were ones I just hauled in my last video. The numbers went up dramatically, so I won't be showing those, but I will show like other books on my shelves that I plan to keep, that I've read, that kind of thing. And there might be little notes here and there, but that is for that. And then, what was my other thing? Oh, on this shelf you'll notice some Amish fiction books. I really don't read Amish books anymore, but these were the ones I really enjoyed when I did. I'd like to kind of get back into the genre, but at the same time I think I'm just so burnt out on the Amish fiction genre in the Christian fiction world, so don't know about that, but you will see those. I haven't read those in a really long time. I think that's it. I would be really curious to see what y'all think of my bookshelves. How many books do you think are just on this right here behind me? How many books do you think that is? And then I will reveal the answer at the end because I was actually shocked. I counted last night and I was quite shocked. So now let's get started. Starting up at the top, I have my little collection of love-inspired books and Heart Song Present books. I have not read these in years, but I remember really enjoying them, thus that's why I kept them. Spring Creek Bride by Janice Thompson. The Lady's Rescuer by Laura Lee Bliss. Critical Condition by Sandra Orchard. Shades of Truth by Sandra Orchard. The Love Song by Anita Higman and Janice A. Thompson. Larkspur Dreams by Anita Higman and Janice A. Thompson. Sweet Harmony by Janice Hanna. The Bachelor Boss by Judy Baer. Mirror Mirror by Judy Baer. Sleeping Beauty by Judy Baer. Royal Rescue by Tammy Johnson. Identity Withheld by Sandra Orchard. Picture Perfect Murder by Rachel Dillon. Key Witness by Christy Barrett. Perilous Waters by Sandra Orchard. Deadly Safari by Lisa Harris. Emergency Reunion by Sandra Orchard. Fatal Inheritance by Sandra Orchard. Deep Cover by Sandra Orchard. Hometown Sweetheart by Lenora Worth. Mending Her Heart by Judy Baer. This House, stunning. The Cinderella List by Judy Baer. Castles in the Air by Anita Higman and Janice A. Thompson. And Be My Neatheart by Judy Baer. Off to the side, we have my Accidental Cases of Emily Abbott series by Perry Elizabeth Kirkpatrick. Red Rover. Plan to Fail. Bad Things, Small Packages. Tutor Nanny, Spit Up Spy. A Spying We Will Go. Once Upon a Dime. And then the three I haven't read yet in the series are 5-Star Spy, Fair and War, and the Christmas novella Right Number. I heard book 7 and 8 ends in a cliffhanger, and thus I am waiting for book 9 to release before I read these. These are advanced reader copies of other books within my shelves, so I won't show those. But I also have, starting with Christian fiction, in our rainbow organizing order, we have Playing by Heart by Anne Mateer, Flirtation Walk by Suri Mitchell, My Heart Remembers by Kim Vogel-Sawyer, The Golden Braid by Melanie Dickerson, Blood Secrets by Morgan L. Bussey, Jupiter Storm by C.J. Darlington, The Secret Slipper by Amanda Tarot, The Kingdom's True Queen by Michaela Bush, The Beautiful Pretender by Melanie Dickerson, The Ringmaster's Wife by Christy Cambron, The Governess of Highland Hall by Carrie Turansky, The Warrior Maiden by Melanie Dickerson, Storing Up Trouble by Jen Tarano, The Looking Glass Illusion by Sarah Ella, When Hope Springs New by Jeanette Oak, Samantha Sanderson at the Movies by Robin Carroll, Missing Pieces is a novella collection by different authors with the last name Hickley, Johnson, Tilley, and then Janice Thompson, An Uncommon Grace by Serena Miller, The Bridge to Belle Island by Julie Klassen, Dog Days of Summer by Kathleen Yabarbo, The Swindler's Daughter by Stephania H. McGee, Things We Didn't Say by Amy Lynn Green, Malicious Intent by Lynn H. Blackburn, Red Like Crimson by Janice Thompson, Rival Hearts by Tara Randall, The All-American by Susie Finkbeiner, The Forgotten Recipe by Amy Clipston, Without Warning by Lynette Eason, For Such a Time by Kate Breslin, Spring Breakdown by Melody Carlson, Another Day, Another Dolly by Sandra Orchard, Planted with Hope by Tricia Goyer and Sherry Gore, Like Never Before by Melissa Tagg, Deadly Proof by Rachel Dillon, Sweet Harmony by Janice Thompson, Over Maya Dead Body by Sandra Orchard, A Place of Peace by Amy Clipston, A Mother's Secret by Amy Clipston, Castle of Refuge by Melanie Dickerson, Chow by Melody Carlson, London Art Chase by Natalie Grant, Riley May and the Soulfire Safari by Jill Osborne, Where You Lead by Leslie Wall, Burned by Bethany Hamilton and Rick, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Bunshun? I have no idea, I'm so sorry. Secret Admirer by Melody Carlson, Charting the Course by Leslie Wall, Chasing Jupiter by Rachel Coker, Summerhill's Secrets Collection Volume 1 by Beverly Lewis, Last Dance and Lost in Las Vegas by Melody Carlson, Sown with Joy by Tricia Goyer and Sherry Gore, A Deep Divide by Kimberly Woodhouse, Love Finds You in Sugar Creek, Ohio by Serena Miller, When Comes the Spring by Jeanette Oak, An Ocean Away by Lisa Harris, When Calls the Heart Movie Edition by Jeanette Oak, At Every Turn by Anne Mateer, Wings of a Dream by Anne Mateer, No Other Will Do by Karen Whittemire, and Stealing the Preacher by Karen Whittemire, Collateral Damage by Lynette Eason, Annie's Stories by Cindy Thompson, A Promise of Hope by Amy Clipston, The Illusionist's Apprentice by Kirsty Cambron, Reckless Heart by Amy Clipston, and A Hopeful Heart by Amy Clipston, Summerhill Secrets Collection Volume 2 by Beverly Lewis, The Fiddler by Beverly Lewis, Love Finds You in Groom, Texas by Janice Hanna, The Road to Paradise by Karen Barnett, From the Start by Melissa Tagg, and then the books in the Lena in the Spotlight series, Hello Stars, Daydreams and Movie Screens, and Shiny Night by Alana Pitts, Glamour by Melody Carlson, Taking Tuscany by Renee Riba, Crossfire by Lynette Eason, An Unexpected Role by Leslie Wall, Dandelion Dust by Faith Potts, The Guardian by Beverly Lewis, Love Finds You in Camelot, Tennessee by Janice Hanna, Chasing Secrets by Lynette Eason, The Spring of Candy Apples by Debbie Vigay, maybe is how you pronounce the author's name, Echoes of Mercy by Kim Vogel-Sawyer, Miles from Nowhere by Amy Clipston, Homecoming Queen by Melody Carlson, Dying to Read by Lorena McCourtney, Victoria Grace the Jerkface by S.E. Clancy, Last Summer at Eden by Christina Hergenrader, I'm not sure how to pronounce that author's last name, Rematch by Erin Mangum, The Cherished Quilt by Amy Clipston, The Summer of Rice Candy by Debbie Vigay, A Fool and His Monet by Sandra Orchard, Full Steam Ahead by Karen Whittemeyer, Girl Power by Melody Carlson, Destination Unknown by Amy Clipston, Loving Grace by April Smith, Secrets in the Mist by Morgan L. Bussey, The Lost King's Daughter by A.D. German, Protecting the Poor by Amanda Taro, Barking Up the Wrong Tree by Janice Thompson, The Healer of the Brigade by Michaela Bush, The Hope of Azure Springs by Rachel Fordham, The Bark of Zorro by Kathleen Yabarbo, A Dream of Hope by Amy Clipston, Roadside Assistance by Amy Clipston, Shine Like the Dawn by Carrie Taransky, Heirlooms by Sandra Bird, The Noble Servant by Melanie Dickerson, Bringing Maggie Home by Kim Vogue-Sawyer, Every Dog Has His Day by Janice Thompson, Queen of the Waves by Janice Thompson, A Gift of Grace by Amy Clipston, The Highlander's Victory by Michaela Bush, The Love Note by Joanna Davidson Politano, Grace and the Preacher by Kim Vogel-Sawyer, Against the Tide by Elizabeth Camden, When Breaks the Dawn by Jeanette Oak, To Disguise the Truth by Jen Tarano, Guide Me Home by Kim Vogel-Sawyer, Cool Beans by Aaron Mangum, The Debutante's Code by Erica Bitch, The Silent Songbird by Melanie Dickerson, Grace's Pictures by Cindy Thompson, Sandcastle Dreams by Taylor Bennett, Made with Love by Tricia Goyer and Sherry Gore, Ashton's Dancing Dreams by the Pitts Sisters, Love Lexi by Sherry Kyle, The Summer of Cotton Candy by Debbie Vigay, The Lady of Lenaria by Michaela Bush, Caught by Surprise by Jen Tarano, With Every Breath by Elizabeth Camden, Porch Swing Girl by Taylor Bennett, Heading Home by Renee Riva, Love Finds You in Daisy, Oklahoma by Janice Hanna, and Wedding Bells by Janice Hanna. Veil of Winter by Melanie Dickerson, Fool's Shin by Janice Thompson, Seeing Voices by Olivia Smith, The Princess Spy by Melanie Dickerson, Undercover Princess by Olivia Jarsmish, There You'll Find Me by Jenny B. Jones, Hope at the Ocean's Edge by Chantel J. MacDonald, Out of the Ordinary by Jen Tarano, The Piano Girl by Sherry Schleckenborn Murray, and Dawn Chandler by Eliza Noel. Hey Jude Carpenter by Storm Stoltz, A Seeking Heart by Kim Vogel-Sawyer, Mixed Bags by Melody Carlson, The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp by Sarah Brunsvold, Starring Me by Krista McGee, The Icing on the Cake by Janice Thompson, Right Where I Belong by Krista McGee, Stealing Bradford and Via Vermont by Melody Carlson, Critical Threat by Lynette Eason, Freedom's Song by Kim Vogel-Sawyer, Amber's Song by the Pitts Sisters, Prank Wars by Olivia Jarsmish, Love Finds You in Poetry, Texas by Janice Hanna, The Courtship Basket by Amy Clipston, White as Snow by Janice Thompson, The Orphan's Wish by Melanie Dickerson, Camping Adventure by Olivia Jarsmish, Double Take by Lynette Eason, The Summer of Cotton Candy by Debbie Vigay, this is the updated cover, $1 Million Dilemma by Judy Bear, Across the Blue by Carrie Taransky, Out of the Blue by Janice Thompson, Samantha Sanderson On the Scene by Robin Carroll, Cotton Candy Clouds by Janice Thompson, When Calls the Heart by Jeanette Oak, Race to Krakatoa by J.D. Peabody, Love in Disguise by Carol Cox, A Lady's Guide to Marvels and Misadventures by Angela Bell, Against the Wind by Amanda Cabot, The Wonderland Trials by Sarah Ella, Noah's Ark by Judy Bear, Road Trip Rescue by Becca Wurwile, With Each Tomorrow by Tracy Peterson and Kimberly Woodhouse, Interrupted by Rachel Coker, Out of the Ruins by Karen Barnett, Still My Forever by Kim Vogel-Sawyer, Like a Flowering Bloom by Suri Mitchell, A Midnight Dance by Joanna Davidson Politano, The Sea Before Us by Sarah Sundin, After the Shadows by Amanda Cabot, Jupiter Winds by C.J. Darlington, Befriending the Beast by Amanda Taro, A Dangerous Engagement by Melanie Dickerson, No Ocean Too Wide by Carrie Taransky, Riley May and the Ready Eddie Rapids, A Spy's Devotion by Melanie Dickerson, Off the Chain by Janice Thompson, A Castaway in Cornwall by Julie Klassen, The Captive Maiden by Melanie Dickerson. A Worthy Pursuit by Karen Whittemire. Hello Hollywood by Janice Thompson. A Season of Love by Amy Clipston. Samantha Sanderson, Off the Record by Robin Carroll. A Lady in Attendance by Rachel Fordham. Where Courage Calls by Jeanette Oak and Laurel Oak Logan. The Tapestry of Grace by Kim Vogel-Sawyer. To Right a Wrong by Jen Tarano. Latte Days by Erin Mangum. A Simple Prayer by Amy Clipston. A Tailor-Made Bride by Karen Whittemire. Trouble in Store by Carol Cox. Spotlight by Melody Carlson. Light Up New York by Natalie Grant. It Had to Be You, Swinging on the Star, and Saltwater Taffy, all by Janice Thompson. The Elusive Miss Ellison by Carolyn Miller. Miracle in Music City by Natalie Grant. And Love Finds You in Carmel by the Sea, California by Sandra D. Bricker. Lady Janie Disappears by Joanna Davidson Politano. A Refuge at Highland Hall by Carrie Turansky. Autumn by the Sea, A Seaside Wonder, and Wedding at Sea by Melissa Tagg. New York Debut by Melody Carlson. The Piper's Pursuit by Melanie Dickerson. A Royal Quest by Melody Carlson. Into the Whirlwind by Elizabeth Camden. Return to Boone's Hollow by Kim Vogel-Sawyer. These are 5 novellas in the Bella Novellas series by Janice Thompson. The Beloved Hope Chest by Amy Clipston. Countdown by Lynette Easton. Match Point by Erin Mangum. Love, Lace, and Minor Alterations by V. Joy Palmer. Where Hope Prevails and Where Trust Lies by Jeanette Oak and Laurel Oak Logan. The Librarian of Boone's Hollow by Kim Vogel-Sawyer. Samantha Sanderson, Without a Trace by Robin Carroll. Truth Be Told by Carol Cox. Beneath the Prairie Moon by Kim Vogel-Sawyer. The Maid of Ballymacool by Jennifer Dibble. A Life of Joy by Amy Clipston. The Lost Castle by Christy Cambron. Shadows of Swanford Abbey by Julie Klassen. Court of Swans by Melanie Dickerson. The Heart's Choice by Tracy Peterson and Kimberly Woodhouse. Every Bride Gets Confused by Janice Thompson. Delivered with Love by Sherry Kyle. Storm by Bethany Hamilton and Rick Brunchen. I'm not sure how to pronounce that author's last name. The Dream Dress by Janice Thompson. Premiere by Melody Carlson. Hidden in the Stars by Robin Carroll. Crunch by Bethany Hamilton. A Secret to Die For by Lisa Harris. Double Take by Melody Carlson. Riley May and the Rock Shocker Trek by Jill Osborne. Catwalk by Melody Carlson. 365 Devotional for Brave Girls published by Tommy Nelson. Stars Collide by Janice Thompson. First Date by Krista McGee. Raising Faith by Melody Carlson. Every Bride Needs a Groom by Janice Thompson. A Dolphin Wish by Natalie Grant. 100 Extraordinary Stories for Courageous Girls by Jean Fisher. Authentically Izzy by Pepper Basham. A Match of Wits by Jen Tarano. The Story People by Heather Kaufman. A Bouquet of Love by Janice Thompson. Double Shot by Erin Mangum. Love Me Tender by Janice Hanna. Picture Perfect by Janice Thompson. Every Bride Has Her Day by Janice Thompson. No Journey Too Far by Carrie Turansky. Mismatch by Erin Mangum. A Match in the Making by Jen Tarano. The Secret Keeper by Beverly Lewis. To Spark a Match by Jen Tarano. Heart of a Royal by Hannah Curry. A Home for My Heart by Anne Mateer. From This Moment by Kim Vogel-Sawyer. Sketchy Behavior by Erin Mangum. More Than Meets the Eye by Karen Whittemire. Hearing Lies by Olivia Smith. Whatever is Lovely by Aaliyah Zobel Noble. The Girl Who Could See by Kara Swanson. Barefoot Memories and Promise Me Aloha by Taylor Bennett. The Last Drop, Room for Cream, Double Shot, and Latte Days, all by Erin Mangum. Cool Beans by Erin Mangum. It didn't fit, unfortunately, so that's why it's like that. Rim by Ashley Scholar. Picture Imperfect by Susan Thudgerson Mass. We Are Gathered Here by Erin Mangum. A Change of Fortune by Jen Tarano. Anomaly, Luminary, and Revolutionary by Krista McGee. Hearts of Steel by Elizabeth Camden. Rendezvous by Melody Carlson. Behind the Scenes by Jen Tarano. Mom's Night Out by Tricia Goyer, The House at the End of the Moor by Michelle Greep, A Dangerous Legacy by Elizabeth Camden, A Plain Scandal by Amanda Flower, New Leash on Life by Kathleen Yabarbo, The Winter of Candy Canes by Debbie Vigay, The Legacy of Longdale Manor by Carrie Taransky, A Plain Disappearance by Amanda Flower, Mind the Gap by Erin Mangum. Underneath my film camera, I have different books that I didn't really have a place to put in the Rainbow Collection, so I just showed their raw edges. And that would be an Amish Cradle novella collection. Last Chance for Justice by Kathy Mathis. A Plain Death by Amanda Flower. Rain Song by Alice J. Weiser. And Love Finds You in Silver City, Ohio by Janelle Morey. Children of the Shadows by Erica Vitch. The Peasant's Dream by Melanie Dickerson. Mismatch, Rematch, Match Point, Match Made, and Bake Me a Match, all by Erin Mangum. The Bookshop of Secrets by Molly Rushmeyer. Counted Worthy by Leah E. Good. The Divine Proverb of Streusel by Sarah Brunsvold. Never Fall Again by Lynn H. Blackburn. The Cryptographer's Dilemma by Johnny Alexander. The Uncertainty of Fire by Stephanie Daniels. Deadly Intentions by Lisa Harris. The Healer's Apprentice by Melanie Dickerson. Deadly Devotion by Sandra Orchard. Pursued by Lisa Harris. Bad Connection and Playing with Fire, both by Melody Carlson. The Fall of Candy Corn by Debbie Vigay. The Merchant's Daughter by Melanie Dickerson. The Ink of Elspeth by J.D. Peabody. A Viscount's Proposal by Melanie Dickerson. Hidden Agenda by Lisa Harris. Blind Trust by Sandra Orchard. Missing by Lisa Harris. Payback by Melody Carlson. The Glass Castle by Tricia White Pribble and Jerry B. Jenkins. Allison Henry and the Creatures of Tyrone by C.J. Darlington. The Chase, The Catch, The Escape, and Vendetta, all by Lisa Harris. Beyond Reach by Melody Carlson. Unlikely Witnesses by Leslie Wall. The Perfect Blindside by Leslie Wall. Always Look Twice by Elizabeth Goddard. Everywhere to Hide by Surrey Mitchell. Extreme Blindside by Leslie Wall. The Paper Boat by Tricia White Pribble and Jerry B. Jenkins. Oath of Honor by Lynette Easton. Fatal Exchange by Lisa Harris. Desperate Measures by Sandra Orchard. The Ruby Moon by Tricia White Pribble and Jerry B. Jenkins. The Director's Cut by Janice Thompson. The Huntress of Thornbeck Forest in both paperback and hardback by Melody Dickerson. Mismatched in Texas by Janice Thompson. In Good Company, Playing the Part, and After a Fashion, all by Jen Turano. Rumored Fortune by Joanna Davidson Politano. Millstone of Doubt by Erica Vitch. Always Watching by Lynette Easton. A Gilded Lady and the Spice King, both by Elizabeth Camden. Diamond in the Rough by Jen Turano. The Elusive Truth of Lily Temple by Joanna Davidson Politano. Flights of Fancy by Jen Turano. Yours Truly Thomas by Rachel Fordham. Messy Malarious Malarkey by Katie McCrite. This is a stack of advanced reader copies that I already have somewhere else on my shelf. The Last Bride and the Bridesmaid by Beverly Lewis. The Singing Quilt by Kathy Mathis. I'm not sure how to pronounce this author's name. Saving Sailor by Renee Riva. In Front of God and Everybody by Katie McCrite. My Heart Belongs in Galveston, Texas by Kathleen Yabarbo. My Heart Belongs in San Francisco, California by Janice Thompson. Emerald Illusion by Jay Rhodes. Hurricane by Janice Thompson. A Life Once Dreamed by Rachel Fordham. Heart on the Line by Karen Whittemire. The Daughter of Highland Hall by Carrie Taransky. Page Torn and Page Turned by Erin Mangum. Clicks, Hicks, and Ugly Sticks by Katie McCrite. Chocolate Covered Bologna by Katie McCrite. The Coronation by Livy Jarsmush. Mrs. Witherspoon Goes to War by Mary Davis. To Steal a Heart by Jen Turano. The Fairest Beauty by Melanie Dickerson. Page Rewritten by Erin Mangum. With Blossoms Gold by Hayden Wan. From This Moment by Elizabeth Camden. A Gem of Truth and a Mark of Grace by Kimberly Woodhouse. Never Let Go by Elizabeth Goddard. The Thief of Blackfriars Lane by Michelle Greep. Once I Knew by Victoria Lynn. And then these books are Happy Camper, Farley's Five and Dime, The Summer of the Carousel, and Dawn's Gentle Light, all by Renee Riva. A hardback edition of Heirlooms by Sandra Bird. Katie in Waiting, Once Upon Eliza, and Happily Ever Ashton, all by Erin Mangum. On the very top of my shelf, I have the entire Secrets of the Blue Hill Library series, all written by Emily Thompson, which is a pen name for multiple authors. Below that is the entire Secrets of Mary's Bookshop series, published by Guidepost by multiple authors. The first book is A New Chapter by Kristen Eckhart. All 11 of the Mandy collections, and then a special movie edition of the first 3 books. And then some of the books in the Young Mandy series by Lois Gladys Leopard. Who's Mandy? The New Girl, The Mystery at Miss Abigail's, The Talking Snowman, The Secret in the Woods, Merry Christmas from Mandy, and The Missing Book. The only book in Mandy, Her College Days, New Horizons by Lois Gladys Leopard. And then the start of another series by this author before she passed away, Secret Money and Suspicious Identity. Up at the very top of my bookshelf, I have the entire Camp Club Girls collections by various authors. There is the collections, the individual books, and then the girls' books. In this stack, I have Mighty God Girls Devotional by Mandy Fender. My Name is River and Hope Girl by Wendy Dunham. Beyond the Attic Door by Tracy Del Campo. Cold Case Christianity for Kids and God's Crime Scene for Kids, both by the Wallace family. AJ's Ireland by Renee Riva. The entire Christy Miller and Friends series, starting with the Christy Miller, volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 by Robin Jones Gunn. The College Years, the Married Years, and the Baby Years. Christy Miller's Diary. Departures, which was a connection between the Christy Miller series and the Serena Jensen series. The Katie Weldon series, and then different books that correlate with characters we meet in these series. Sunsets by Robin Jones Gunn, Canary Island by Robin Jones Gunn, Love Finds You in Sunset Beach, Hawaii, Cottage by the Sea, Whisper, Becoming Us, and Becoming Known. I think I might be missing one book in this series, but otherwise, I believe this is the whole Christy Miller and Friends series. It's about 50 books. All 40 of the Mandy series by Lois Gladys Leopard, plus 3 of the special individual hardback books, Mandy and Molly and the Angel's Visit, Mandy and Joe's Christmas Surprise, and then Mandy's My Date book. In a little corner off to the side, I have The Reluctant Godfather, A Royal Masquerade, Poppy's Peril, and A Flash of Magic, all by Alison Thibault. I have only read The Reluctant Godfather currently. My little superhero collection includes Twinapathy and Light Porter by C.B. Cook, a hardback special edition of We Could Be Villains by Megan Kalalu. It's got special edges. And then Ignite by Jenna Therese. My clean historical fiction shelf includes Manor for Sale, Baron Included by Esther Hatch, The Matchmaker's Lonely Heart, To Capture His Heart, and Protecting Her Heart, all by Nancy Campbell Allen. Georgiana's Secret by Arlen Hawks. The Steadfast Heart by Arlen Hawks. Maiden in the Tower by Heidi Kimball. Beauty and the Baron by Joanna Barker. And The Beautiful Love by Megan Walker. For my clean fantasy shelf, I have Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Vivid and Radiant by Ashley Bustamante. A Thieving Curse, The Dragon Prince's Heart, and A Lonely Dance by Selena R. Gonzalez. Mechanical Heart by Sarah Pennington, drafted by Tommy Michelle. The Legendary Ing, by Kate Stradling. Assassin of Fire and Sacrifice by Megan Meckham in both hardback and paperback. Wormwood Abbey, Drake Hall, and Castle of the Winds by Christina Bayer. Also on my clean fantasy shelf is a bunch of different clean fairy tales by Melanie Sellier. I have the entire Four Kingdoms series, which is The Princess Companion, The Princess Fugitive, The Coronation Ball novella, Happily Ever Afters, which is also a novella, The Princess Pact, A Midwinter's Wedding, which is a novella, The Princess Game, and The Princess Search. All 6 books in the Beyond the Four Kingdoms series, A Dance of Silver and Shadow, A Tale of Beauty and Beast, A Crown of Snow and Ice, A Dream of Ebony and White, A Captive of Wing and Feather, A Princess of Wind and Wave. And then 3 books in the Return to the Four Kingdoms series. The Secret Princess, The Mystery Princess, and The Desert Princess, all by Melanie Sellier. For my headboard bookshelves, I have in the very top some childhood favorites and then children's Korean books. On the second shelf, I have the current entire Keeper of the Lost Cities series by Shannon Messenger. The first book is the annotated edition of the first book. For some reason, it's taller. Why they decided to do that, I don't know. Horrible decision, in my opinion. I have a few manga books, the ones in the Orange series, The Fallen Daughter of the Duke, and then The Dragon Knight's Beloved. I have not finished those last 2 series, so I do not know about content. In the next shelf over, I have some Korean comics or manhwa books. I'm not really going to talk about those though, because I'm still debating if I'm keeping them, so we're going to move on. For more manga books, I have That Wolf Boy Is Mine, which is a terrible cringy title, but the series was really cute. Love and Focus, and then Those Not So Sweet Boys, all by the same author. A Condition Called Love, volumes 1 through 6. I have not read past that, so I do not know about the content. And then The Time Loop, My 7th Life, Living as a Villainess or something. It has a really long title, but that's volumes 1, 2, and 3. I have not read 3 and on. Off to the side, I have 6 out of 7 books in the Vanderbeekers series by Karina Yan Glasser. I didn't really care for the 7th book, so I didn't keep that one, but the rest of the books were pretty cute. My bed bookshelves look like a mess because they kind of are a mess, but they're an organized mess, and I'm not going to show all my physical TBR, which is most of these books, so let me just show you the ones I have read. This is my Trenton Lee Stewart shelf, basically all the Mysterious Benedict Society. I have the paperback of the British editions of the Mysterious Benedict Society. These were the original British editions, they have since changed them. And then the British edition of The Secret Keepers, which is the prettiest cover, yes. This is the American hardback version. And then the rest of the series in different versions, including Korean, which for some reason they only did the first 2 books in Korean. They never did book 3, which I think is horribly unfair. It's in Korean, and there actually is a built-in bookmark because it's such a big book. This is kind of my oddball shelf. I always keep my 2 Bibles here that I use the most often. This is an NASB version and then a Holman's Christian Standard version that's very tiny. I read this series a very long time ago, so I honestly don't know if I would enjoy it. I'd like to reread it at some point, but it's just not been a priority. That's High Society, Uncommon Criminals, and Perfect Scoundrels, all by Ally Carter. Winterborn, Home for Vengeance and Valor, and Winterborn, Home for Mayhem and Mystery, both by Ally Carter. Premeditated Myrtle by Elizabeth C. Bunce. I would like to get the rest of the series and read them. The Official Nancy Drew Handbook. Isn't that just so fun? I haven't looked at this in years. I have to re-look at this. It's so cute. An old edition of a Nancy Drew book. It's 2 different ones, and for some reason it's books 17 and 24. I didn't write that. I just want to say I don't write on my covers, but it is weird they did those random too. But it's those 2, and it's a very vintage copy. Then they republished some of the Nancy Drew books in these gorgeous new editions and never continued with the rest of the series. I'd like to have a word with the person who decided not to continue on because I love these editions. They're so pretty. And then my little childhood very favorites corner, I guess you could say, would be some books I haven't even read. Like The Wizard of Oz, I never read that one. A Little Princess and the Secret Garden by Frances Hodges Burnett. The Famous Five on Treasure Island was a very, very favorite of mine. This is the original copy. This was a special edition. Also another copy of The Secret Garden, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and Through the Looking Glass, which I have not read. And then The Wizard of Oz collection, which I have still never read, but I've always just put them together. I don't know why. Baby Island was a favorite book of mine when I was little. And then the rest of these are just slowly collecting the Famous Five books in this edition, and then different Cam Jansen books because she was my favorite when I was a little girl. I have a little bit of gardening books here. The Chinese Kitchen Garden, The Healing Garden, The Botanist Sticker Anthology, which is technically a sticker book, but it looks pretty with these. And then Florography, which is just a really pretty one. It's a guide to the Victorian language of flowers, which, yeah, obviously I needed that, obviously. And then Herbs for Common Ailments by Rosemary Gladstar. I also have the 2024 World's Largest Seed Catalog. This is so much fun. And then The Language of Flowers. I'm obviously running out of room right here. These are special editions of different Jeanette Oak books in the Keepsake series. So it is the Canadian West series and also the Love Comes Softly series in different bind-ups. Oh, and that's right. It also is, what was that series? I can't remember that series name, but it's just different ones. Very popular ones she wrote. I haven't read all of them yet. Off to the side, I've been keeping Our Faithful God Devotional by Katie Davis Majors because I've been currently rereading that one. And then in this little corner, these are books I need to reread to see if I'm keeping because I enjoyed them at one point, but I don't know if I would still enjoy them. So Honor by Lynn H. Coate, Plots and Pans by Kelly Aline Hake, Threads of Hope by Andrea Boschar, The Road to Testament by Eva Marie Everson, Price to Move, Steal of a Deal and a Cut Above by Jenny Alkine, Rise and Shine by Sandra D. Bricker, Waking Beauty by Sarah Morin, The Sound of Diamonds and the Sound of Emeralds by Rochelle Rea. I think I would keep these two, but I don't really want to keep a library edition. So I'm going to reread these at some point, the whole series, and then I'll decide about getting a new edition. In Between by Jenny B. Jones, Trading Secrets and My Amish Boyfriend by Melody Carlson, All Be Yours by Jenny B. Jones, Saving Gracie by Kristen Etheridge, and then other books in the Diary of a Teenage Girl series by Melody Carlson, the first 4 books in the Kim series, and the only 3 books in the Maya series. The final shelf has my nonfiction, so Seamless by Angie Smith was a devotional. The Only Pirate at the Party by Lindsay Sterling. I've actually never read this, and you know, I probably never will at this point, so I should probably just go ahead and unhaul this. Growing Up Duggar by Jana, Jill, Jessa, and Ginger Duggar. I have also never read, but I'm very curious to read this one and then read Ginger's book and then Jill's book. I think I want to do that at some point this year. Kisses from Katie and Daring to Hope by Katie Davis Majors, 2 of my all-time favorite nonfiction books. Riley Unlikely by Riley Banks Snyder. Safe All Along by Katie Davis Majors. Amazed and Confused by Heather Zimpel. Daring to Hope, an advanced reader copy by Katie Davis Majors. The Insatiable Quest for Beauty by Tiffany Dawn. Borrowing God's Glasses by Lacey Garabale. Spoken For by Robin Jones Gunn and Alyssa Joy Bethke. Made for More, which I honestly don't know if I've read this one. If I have, it's been a really, really long time, by Hannah Anderson. Soul Surfer by Bethany Hamilton. Soul Surfer Devotions by Bethany Hamilton. The 30-Day Praise Challenge, which I don't think I ever read this one, by Becky Harling. Pause for Reflections, 50 Devos for Dog Moms by Janice Thompson. God's Way Through Worry by Janice Thompson. And God's Way Through Brokenness by Janice Thompson. Emma by Jane Austen. Different Books by Ellen Montgomery that I have never read. Cinder Luna by Marie Soleil. And My Phony Valentine by Courtney Walsh. These are 2 clean rom-coms. And then I keep my Christmas books separately, so I have The Christmas Joyride by Melody Carlson, Finding Father Christmas by Robin Jones Gunn, Hear Them Ring by Erin Mangum, A Wild Goose Chase Christmas by Jennifer Ali, Mele Kaliki Maka by Taylor Bennett, Under the Texas Mistletoe Novella Collection by Karen Whittemeyer, Love Finds You in Frost, Minnesota by Judy Bear, Sleigh Bells by Janice Hanna, Merry Humbug Christmas by Sandra D. Bricker, Finding Father Christmas and Engaging Father Christmas Collection by Robin Jones Gunn, Texas Christmas Bride by Kathy Marie Hake and Kathleen Yabarbo, Engaging Father Christmas by Robin Jones Gunn, Naomi's Gift by Amy Clipston, A Plain and Simple Christmas by Amy Clipston, and then Christmas Witness Pursuit by Lisa Harris. Off on a little bookshelf off to the side of my desk, I have some Nancy Drew books. I've been slowly recollecting these. And then right by my door, I have another bookshelf that is just for all my Korean books. So my workbooks, my textbooks, and then different novels in Korean. And there you go. That is I won't say a quick overview because it wasn't quick. I mean, this video is still like, what, 40 minutes long at least? At least. Maybe once I get down to editing, I can get it a little lower. But yeah, not really quick, but that is an overview of almost all the books in my room. I mean, I didn't really give y'all a close, in-depth look at my Korean bookshelf, but that is a really good glimpse of all the books in my room. It's kind of a library. So for our answers of how many books are on these beautiful rainbow shelves, place your guess. Did you place your guess? Did you count as I went along? Because I'm glad I counted afterwards. Had I counted prior, I think I would have been so much more intimidated to film this video. Because 683. Now, doesn't that feel like that's, like, I almost feel like I should count again, but I don't want to count again. Because it feels like there should be more, don't you think? I feel like there ought to be more than almost 700 books on this shelf, but I counted, and with all my available shelves, once I fill those in, it will be easily over 1,000, and that fits better, but I don't know, does this look like almost 700? I guess it does. I guess it does. My physical TBR, which y'all only saw an overview of, is 219 books, technically. I finished one, and then I'm in the middle of another one, so yay me. 219 though is still insane. That's still an insane amount of books on my physical TBR, so I need to do better about that. And then other books, not including like childhood books, but am including like manga and manhwa, that's like 150 or so. So roughly, you could say in my room, there's easily over 1,000 books, because I didn't count my Korean bookshelf at all. And there's easily 100 on there. So yes, I have a bona fide library, which is the goal of every book reader. If you have made it through this whole video though, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, I hope you'll stick around. I talk about Christian fiction, I talk about clean fiction, I give content warnings. That's kind of my thing. I'm connected to the blog Books for Christian Girls, and I just share about all kinds of books. If you're curious about where I buy my books and that kind of thing, feel free to check out my last video, which was a book haul where I discussed that. And then I will see y'all next time. I think next video is going to be a recent reads. I've been reading another fairy tale series, and then I've got some other very interesting books I want to talk about, and then we're going to do some summer recommendations coming up here. And yeah, I think that's it for now, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again so much for watching. Feel free to let me know how many of these books you recognize. Did you keep track? Did you see any favorites? Please let me know. I love it when someone comments on my videos and they're like, oh, the Christy Miller series, I never see those in anyone's videos. And I love that so much when people recognize a book on my shelves. It's so fun because when I watch BookTube, whether it be like BookTuber friends or just other BookTubers, I just get excited when I see a book I recognize because I like it. And it's just like, hey, it's kind of like playing I Spy. I loved I Spy as a kid. I don't know about y'all, but I hope you enjoyed this video regardless. I hope you have an absolutely lovely rest of your day. I am Lindsay from the blog Books for Christian Girls at blogspot.com, where there is a new review every Monday and Friday. I hope to post a new video on this channel every Friday. And then I am also on Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads, all the many places to talk about books here, there, and everywhere. Bye, y'all!